matter in our surroundings. So what is a matter? Matter is anything that occupies space and also has mass. Okay, so anything that has mass and volume is said to be matter. So we have so many objects surrounding us. So every object around us that occupies space and has a weight is termed to be as a matter. Okay. Okay, now look at here. We have an experiment in order to prove that matter is made up of particles. Okay, so for this what we need to do? Have an experiment in order to prove that matter is made up of particles. Okay, so for this what we need to do? We need to just fill half of the beaker with water and we need to add some salt or sugar to this.
Now what you have to do, after adding salt or sugar to the water, you have to take the glass rod, okay, and you have to stir it, right? Okay, so after stirring, what happens is the salt gets dissolved in the water solution. Salt or sugar, whatever you have added to the water, it has dissolved now. Okay, now what it actually concludes is water has the particles that have gap between them. So the added particles, that is salt or sugar, get settled in between those gaps. So only we can say that matter is made up of particles and these particles are very tiny. Okay, we are heading on to next experiment. Okay, where you are doing this to see how small are these particles. Okay, right. So for this what all we need? We need a beaker of 100 ml. Okay, so first of all you need to take a 2 to 3 crystals of potassium permanganate and you have to put it into the 100 ml of water. Okay, now you have to dissolve this. After this what you have to do? You have to take 10 ml of this into another beaker, 90 ml of which contains 90 ml of water, and you have to add that solution into this one. Okay, right. Then again you have to mix it. So after doing this, you have to shift 10 ml of this one into the 90 ml beaker. Okay, again you have to mix it and you have to do this for some 8 to 5 times, right? It becomes like this. So you have to do this. After doing this, what you will get is you are going on diluting the solution for so many times, and this concludes that just a few crystals of potassium permanganate that you have taken can color large volume of water. Okay, so what this shows, the particles are so smaller than whatever we think. Okay, you can't just imagine how small the the particle is, so that it is coloring the large volume of water. We can do the same experiment with Dettol also. Okay, so this is what the experiment done. Hello, let us know about now characteristics of particles of matter. Okay, let us see one by one. First one is particles of matter have space between them. So this we have proved by our first experiment, where we are using a beaker filled with water and you are using some salt or sugar into it and dissolving it. So this shows that matter has space between them, so that there is a formation of a mixture there. Okay, so the particles are getting mixed with the water, and even you can use a Dettol also for this experiment, and for that case you can take potassium permanganate also. Next one is particles of matter are continuously moving. Okay, so for this there is an experiment. You have to take a incense stick and you have to lit it and keep it at a corner of a room. Okay, so what happens, though you are at any other part of a room far away from that incense stick, what you will observe is you will get the smell of that incense stick wherever you are. Okay, what it shows that particles are continuously moving, due to which you are getting the smell of that incense stick. And you can also use water and ink for this. Okay, so you have to put a drop of ink into the water. So what it shows, ink spreads gradually, and it accumulates the entire water. So the color of water changes. So these two can be the example of this second property, that is particles of matter are continuously moving. Notice next one, particles of matter attract each other. So for this you have to take an iron nail. Okay, so what you will observe, the iron nail is very strong because it is made up of iron, and if you want to break it, it is not possible. Why it has become so strong? Because it has particles which are very strongly held with each other. And if you take a chalk piece and if you try to break it, so this is very easy to break. Why? Because the particles inside the chalk piece are very loosely held. So you can find the chalk piece as very smooth.